Welcome us in the series of videos on topology. We are looking at compact spaces, and in the previous video, that is video number 59, we have proved that every limit point compact matrix space X is sequentially compact. Okay, so just to recall, we have defined what is compact space, then we have defined limit point compact, sequentially compact. Okay, now the space X is said to be limit point compact if every infinite set has a limit point. Okay, and it is called sequentially compact if every sequence in that has a convergent subsequence. Now in this video what we have proved is every limit point compact space is a sequentially compact space, and to prove that we have taken this infinite sequence and then we have done with the proof. Okay, so if you are not gone through the last video, please go through the last video. Okay, now let's go for the next video and we will talk about some corollaries in this videos. Okay, so this is video number, this is video number 60 in this series. Okay, and in this video we will talk about some corollaries related to the last videos, what we have done, what last theorems. Okay, so the first corollary, we can say that every compact metric space, every compact metric space is sequentially compact. Okay, now in this video we are talking about this, which is a corollary for the last theorem. Every compact metric space is sequentially compact. Why it is so? Let us prove this in just 2-3 statements. So let us assume that let X be compact, let X be a compact metric space. Now let me again stress on the word metric space. Okay, metric space, a compact metric space is sequentially compact. Okay, so let us assume that X is a compact metric space. Okay, we already proved in the previous videos that every compact space, topological space, is a limit point compact. Okay, so this implies X is limit point compact. We already proved this. Okay, and in the last video we have proved that video number 59, we have proved that every limit point compact metric space is sequentially compact, and in this case we have this metric space which is compact now, right? So this implies X is sequentially compact, right? And this is because of last theorem by previous theorem. Okay, just 3 lines, but lots of data is involved inside. Okay, let's move further. Let's talk about N-Borel theorem. N-Borel theorem. Okay, let me first state. It says every closed and bounded subset of Rn is compact. You might have proved this when you have done your course on real analysis, right? So every closed and bounded subset of Rn is compact. This is what we need to prove. Let's prove this. Now here let us we know that Rn we have a metric space. Alright, so let us say that let us take a closed and bounded subset of Rn and let us show that it is compact. Okay, so let us take K. Let K be a closed and bounded subset. Okay, be a closed and bounded subset of Rn. Okay. Now our job is to show that this is bounded. Sorry, this is compact. Okay. Now this implies this K is closed and bounded. It is also bounded and it is also closed. So therefore, what we have is there will be a open ball such that this K is bounded. That means it will be contained inside ball around say 0 of radius r. Not capital R. This r. Okay. This is a real number, set of real numbers, and this is a positive real number. Okay, so don't get confused with this r and this r. This is script r. So this is bounded provided given a point in x, we can find the radius such that k is contained or k can be put up inside the open ball, and this open ball will be contained inside the closed ball in Rn of radius r, and the closed balls in Rn are nothing but the closed intervals and its product. So this is contained inside close minus r to r cross minus r to r cross and the plus kind of minus r to r. Okay, now what we know that this closed interval minus r comma r is compact subset of R. It is closed and bounded subset of R, right? We have already proved that. So this is a compact subset of R. Hence, we have, let us write this as minus R to R raised to N. This is compact subset of R. Subset of Rn. Okay, we already proved that product of two compact spaces is compact. Okay, if not proved, then please complete the proof. So what we have here is we have a closed subset of a compact set of a topological space Rn. I repeat, we have a closed set of a compact set. This is a compact set. So we have closed subset of a compact set, and we have already proved earlier that closed subset of a compact set is compact in the whole space. Okay, and hence let me use that reason here. Since K is closed subset of Rn, we have, this implies K is compact. Right? Let me write the reason. We have proved this fact. Closed subset, of course, this closed subset has to be of the whole space. Okay, closed subset of a compact set is compact. We have already proved this. Okay, you can check the playlist. Now what this means is, if we have K subset of say B, which is a subset of the space X is a topological space, B is the subset of X, which is compact, K is a subset of B, but K is compact in X, sorry, K is closed in X. Okay, then we can say that, or then we have already proved that K is compact in X. Okay, that result we are using here. So this will complete our proof. We have taken a closed and bounded subset of Rn, and we proved that K is compact. Okay, let's take one more. This is Hen-Borel theorem. Let's move further. Let us take Bolzano-Weissel's theorem further. and this is known as Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem. Okay, let me put up that statement. It says every bounded sequence in Rn admits a convergent subsequence. Why so? Let me give some exercise to your brain. Prove that every bounded sequence in Rn admits a convergent subsequence. And also we can show that a subset K of Rn is compact if K is both closed and bounded. That also we can prove. I repeat, a subset K of Rn is compact if K is closed and bounded. So altogether we can say it is if and only if, because already we have proved closed and bounded subset of Rn is compact. Here every closed bounded subset of Rn is compact. Also we can prove that a subset K of Rn is compact if K is closed and bounded. Alright, I guess I did some error there. Anyways, we can check if it's if and only if, and if it is if and only if statement, you can prove the fact. Okay, so let's stop here. In the next video we'll talk about Lebesgue covering lemma. Right, so till then stay tuned.